Hello, everybody, and welcome to our discussion and review on the sequel to Shazam Fury of the Gods. And that's the last time I will say that name, because from here on out, I will be calling him Captain Marvel, because he's motherfucking Captain Marvel. So, with that, let's get started. David F. Sandberg has now given us the second greatest DCEU film in its dying moments. Before James Gunn graces us with his yet another attempt at making a DC cinematic universe, we have the last gasps of breath from what Zack Snyder originally created. Kind of. Was it worth the wait? I'd like to think so. The acting from everyone was pretty stellar once again. The franchise has nixed Michelle Borth for the adult Mary while also gaining Helen Mirren, Lucy Liu, and Rachel Zegler as our villains, the daughters of Atlas, Hespera, Calypso, and Anthea, respectively. Asher Angel, Jack Dylan Grazer, Jovan Armand, Faith Herman, and Ian Chen all return for their normal identities, while Grace Caroline Curry, formerly known as Grace Fulton, returns for double duty with Mary Bromfield and Mary Marvel, or whatever the hell you call her. All do spectacularly for, kids, when usually child actors fucking suck. Zachary Levi is once again showcasing how perfect he is as Captain Marvel. This dude just absolutely nails it, whether it be the comedy, the action, or the drama. Levi is always bringing his A game. Same goes for Adam Brody, DJ Catrona, Megan Good, and Ross Butler, but to a much lesser extent as they aren't the main character. Mirren and Lou are deliciously evil in the most over the top way, and it is an absolute delight to watch unfold. While Zegler has a bit more of her character threading the line of what she actually truly wants to do, as well as her power set being really fucking cool and really unique. Jimon Hansu surprisingly returns as the Wizard Shazam, and he is surprisingly really funny and has good chemistry with Grazer. Cooper Andrews and Marta Milans are also good. The CGI felt a lot more believable than in some other superhero ventures, looking at you, Quantumania, as there haven't been any reports of DC keeping their VFX artists hostage, so our hope is that they maybe treat them like actual human beings as opposed to Marvel. With this, the CGI does look quite good, with maybe some dodgy green screen in certain places. I will say the editing and pacing was pretty choppy in the first half. I felt like there were more scenes between Billy and his family that were maybe cut for time, unfortunately. With that, some of the first act does seem a bit rushed. However, once the action started, it managed to even itself out. Most of the most of the comedy actually felt genuine, funny and genuine, with maybe a couple jokes falling flat here and there. The action sequences were an absolute blast, and the plot was quite good, carrying over some of the more obvious things that would be carried over. Dealing with these powers, what it means to be a leader, going too far into the direction of having a family because of the previous trauma of not having one for so long and trying to deal with that. If a child is deserving of these powers, gods versus humanity, and so on and so forth, as well as carrying over the idea of Billy breaking the staff in half and actually being a major plot point here. As I said, the only real negatives I have is some of the pacing issues and a couple jokes falling flat. But it's honestly nitpicks in the long run. Although I was really fucking pissed that they killed off Diedrich Bader. Come on, guys. Have some goddamn respect for the Batman that does not eat nachos. Overall, this was a ton of
Hostile Gato.
Yes, I don't know who that is. Overall, this was a ton of fun, had a ton of heart, was an absolute blast from beginning to end, with only a few nitpicks here and there. One of the best DCEU films that actually makes me a bit sad to see it go. Then I remember the next movie is The Flash, to which I say, never mind. With that, I give it a 9 out of 10. Blue Beetle can't come soon enough.
So I really liked the first Shazam. I think it's a fun and hilarious movie, and when they announced the sequel was coming out, I was really excited. But then I saw the trailers, and I felt a little underwhelmed by them, especially since the last trailer practically spoiled the whole movie. And then the mixed reviews started coming out, and the low box office projections. And I started to get scared. I went in with low expectations, but I was hoping for something fun. after seeing the movie, I have to say, I really don't understand where the mixed reception is coming from. I like this movie. I think it's fun, I think it's just as fun and entertaining as the first movie, but it's still flawed. Acting from everyone is solid. Zachary Levi still proves why he was a great choice to play Captain Marvel, and yes, I'm going to call him Captain Marvel. He does a great job once again portraying a kid in an adult's body with superpowers, and he has a solid character journey of learning how to become a leader. I thought that paid off very well. Jack Dylan Grazer is the standout as Freddie Freeman. He's hilarious and likable as he was in the first movie. Shazam was great. The family dynamic was great. It's still strong and is a highlight of the movie. While I do prefer Dr. Savannah, which might be kind of surprising to some people, I thought the Daughters of Atlas were very fun antagonists, and Helen Mirren, Lucy Liu, and Rachel Zegler do a good job with their performances. This movie, I actually thought this movie was hilarious. I was laughing at a good majority of the jokes during the movie, and there's entertaining back and forth between the characters, which is something that Marvel is absolutely failing at now. Looking at you, Taika Waititi. There's a lot of like Easter eggs to the Captain Marvel character. You even see the original actor who played Billy Batson in the '70s show. And as soon as I saw that, I looked at my dad and said, that's the Billy Batson from the '70s show. And lastly, it was great seeing Wonder Woman and Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman again. And I'm really gonna miss her, but I do have an issue with that. Now, like I said earlier, while I do like the movie, it does have plenty of flaws. For one thing, I thought the CGI was pretty bad. A lot of the action scenes, while fun, did not look convincing, especially during the bridge scene at the beginning and the big fight at the end with all those monsters running amok. It's not MCU phase 4 to 5 levels of CGI bad, but it's still not great. There are points that feel a bit predictable, especially during the third act. I knew they weren't going to have the balls to actually kill off Billy at the end. The Marvel family at times, they're a little too reckless with their powers, but then again, they're kids, so I kind of understand why. Sometimes Billy acts too much like a goofy idiot with his powers, just like he did in the first movie. But here, it felt a little worse. It's not as bad as Taika Waititi's Thor, but I do have a hard time buying the dynamic of Billy Batson and Captain Marvel because they feel like different personalities. They don't feel like the same person. And while it was great to see Wonder Woman again, why was she in this movie? She was just shoehorned in, and she didn't serve a purpose aside from being a last-minute plot device. And lastly, the end credit scenes are just dead ends that won't lead to anything since Gunn's DCEU is starting very soon. So they just feel like giant teases that lead to nothing. But in conclusion, despite its flaws, I had a great time with this movie. I would definitely buy it on Blu-ray when it comes out, and I recommend us giving it a matinee watch because you should not bring a toddler to a late night showing. To the parents that did that, go fuck yourself. I give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Also, Rob, sorry, but before you start, for mentioning Taika Waititi's on my fucking stream.
That's the way you want it, you little shit. Fine.
You stay in timeout until we're all done. And with that, Rob, you may go.
Okay. All right. Don't worry. I won't mention He Who Must Not Be Named. So, anyway, let me start off by saying that I really enjoyed the first Shazam movie. I mean, it's not my favorite of the DCU, but it's like a silly but fun, family-friendly movie. It knows what kind of movie it is, and I really had fun watching it. Now, I will say that months before the sequel came out, there were two things that kind of worried me. First of all, James Gunn, sorry, Mark, had announced that he was yet again rebooting the entire DC universe. And second, I felt like the trailers kind of spoiled a little too much. And I will say that after seeing Shazam: Fury of the Gods, I think it's okay. So, I mean, it wasn't bad, but I'm probably not. I probably don't love it as much as John or Devin did. But I mean, it's not bad. It's fine. Let me just start with the positives first. The performances are just as good as the first one. Zachary Levi is an excellent choice to play Shazam and / Captain Marvel / Billy Batson. So, like as an adult. So, but everyone else does as great as they did in the first one. The film still has the silly, lighthearted tone that the first one did, and I do mean that in a good way. By the way. And I mean, it does have a lot of fun moments. And despite the third act being just another CGI fest, the action scenes are actually kind of fun, and I'll give it that. When it comes to my negatives, I felt like parts of the story were were too predictable. Like I can tell where certain moments were going to go here and there, but this is just at points. And I thought the pacing was too, like what John said, the pacing was a bit too choppy, and I feel like they could have smoothed things out with it and just toned down like a lot of the slow moments and cut down on unnecessary ones. But and some of the jokes are kind of hit and miss for me. I wasn't laughing out loud like these guys were, but I mean there were some jokes that did hit, like I will admit I did laugh at the letter that was writing, and they were mentioning, and they were just talking and they were writing, and the pen was writing down literally everything they were saying that was not meant to be in the letter. But there were also some jokes that didn't make me laugh too much. So I mean, it's kind of a mixed bag for me. The villains were all right. I mean, they're not bad, but I just didn't think that they stood out too much. I honestly, to be honest with you, I would prefer Dr. Savannah. Because I mean, part of that probably could be like Mark Strong's performance and all, but I thought he did. He was a much more menacing villain than Lucy Liu's character, but that's just me. And lastly, I will say that one thing that did bother me was yes, it was great seeing Wonder Woman in this movie, but she did not have a purpose. I mean, she was only there for like a few minutes, and it seemed like she was only there for fan service and nothing else, because she only came back to resurrect Billy Batson, and that was it. Where was she? She really had no purpose in this story. So I just felt like her cameo was just completely unnecessary. But I mean, overall, despite my issues, I mean, like I said, it's not a bad film. It's an alright watch. If it is certainly an improvement over some comic book films that we've had within recent years, like Black Adam, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and that thing that shall not be mentioned because I don't want to get Phantom Zoned. But it could have been. But I think it could have been better. If you love the first one, or maybe you want a movie just to take the kids to, I mean, maybe you might have a good time. If you are curious about it, but kind of numb with the whole superhero thing, I mean, that's understandable too. And just overall, my score is a 6 out of 10.
And then there was one. Okay.
All right, I have to.
Unless you want to go ahead and read Rome's first.
No, you go first. I'll do Rome's last.
Okay. Well, you know I always like to go last, but that's fine.
This is short anyway.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. What is everyone's problem with this movie? The reviews have been mixed, so I went in with no expectations whatsoever. But I really don't see anything wrong with this movie, at least nothing major. The worst I can say is that it's a little slow in the second act, a little predictable at times, and maybe not quite as good as the first one. But that's about it. As far as I can see, the only thing overstuffed about it is the title. The positives here greatly outweigh the negatives. They take it to a logical place with Billy / Shazam feeling unworthy of his powers and afraid of losing his newfound family. The Shazam kids are growing up but still inexperienced and making mistakes. Helen Mirren as Hespera, Lucy Liu as Calypso, and Rachel Ziegler as Anthea provide excellent villains as the daughters of Atlas seeking to restore their realm with the power stolen from the gods by the Wizards Council, with maybe an added motivation by Lucy Liu. They have a very interesting dynamic, those three, each with kind of their own motivations. Anthea being the purist, Hespera being the leader, and Calypso being the angriest, and Hespera kind of caught as the leader, kind of caught in the middle. This ties in well to the first film, as it is explained that Shazam unwittingly released them from their magical prison when he broke the staff after using it to share his powers with his new family, leading Billy/Shazam to further question his fitness for these powers, since it was technically his fault. Specifically, the apparent lack of the use of the Wisdom of Solomon, a major theme in this film. We don't get as much of Asher Angel as Billy Batson in this, but what we do get is very well done, especially his relationship with his foster mom, Rosa, now played by Marta Milans. The Shazam kids are as great as ever, especially Jack Dylan Grazer as the very relatable Freddie Freeman, and Faith Herman as the adorable as ever Darla as the standouts. Grace Caroline Curry does a solid job in a dual role, stepping in now to replace Michelle Borth for the first film as superhero Mary. Despite being predictable, the ending worked anyway, precisely because it showed that Billy/Shazam was willing to sacrifice himself to save everyone, proving once and for all that he does, in fact, have the wisdom of Solomon, not in his head, but in his heart, as the wizard explained, and is thus worthy. Tender moments such as this, combined with some genuine laugh-out-loud moments and some great action, gave this film that same special blend of heart and humor that worked so well in the first one. And taste the rainbow, motherfucker, because that's why my rating is a 7.5 out of 10.
Indeed. Before we move on, our buddy Rome couldn't join us today. So with this, I will read his quick letterboxd review right now. Shazam! Fury of the Gods is a step up from Black Adam and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. It's a sequel that does not have a lot of buzz or excitement around it because the DCEU will be rebooted into the Gunn DCU. It is a fun comic book movie with a few good action scenes and a couple of decent jokes. The costumes for Shazam and the Shazam family are a lot better in this than in the previous film. The beautiful Lucy Liu stars as Calypso, the main villain, who plays a menacing villain, but her motives are forgettable. The frustrating part about the sequel is nothing about it feels fresh. It feels very predictable from beginning to end. It's a good family-friendly film to take the kids to see on the weekend. There are 2 post-credit scenes, but nothing to get excited about. And with that, he gives it a 6 out of 10 as well, even though he sounded way meaner than Rob, but that's beside the point. I will say, though, in terms of the villains of this movie, they aren't as good as Savannah. I will give it that. I will say, though, they had the single greatest villain plan in all of superhero-dom.
Yeah. It was even a bit understandable, though.
Keeping Philadelphia in its own dome away from the rest of the world. That is easily the greatest villain plan of all fucking time. And then letting monsters run amok. That's just perfect right there. I kept saying throughout the entirety of the second half, I'm like, I mean, it's just Philadelphia. You could just fucking nuke them. It wouldn't even be like that big of a deal.
I'm close to Philly, man.
Yeah, but you're not Philly, so just like it's fine. Just greatest villain plan of all time. Keep Philadelphia away from the rest of the world. It's just perfect. That's just perfect right there. I mean, like, getting rid of half the fucking universe. Nah, fuck that shit. Just getting rid of Philadelphia, that'll automatically make the entire universe better, in all honesty. Like, that's just perfect. Perfect.
But you won't have a Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah, and it's a mediocre sandwich anyway. Give me a meatball sub any fucking day. Fuck
straight.
Fuck your cheesesteaks.
Yeah, damn
bitch.
straight.
The only thing Philadelphia has to offer is a mediocre sandwich and a fictional boxer. Suck a dick.
and meatball subs with bacon.
Ooh, I've never had that.
They're actually really good.
Now I gotta try it. Now that's a thing to try now. Thank you, Devin. Anyway,
Absolutely.
outside of that, I did love yes, I did love the cameos. Nobody here understands my reference, but I gotta know, in speaking to the world now, well, to one person watching, but hopefully when this eventually ends and we'll get all the views, did anybody else think that the King of the Beasts would be Talkie Tawny? Come on. Me and my buddy Tim couldn't have been the only ones that fucking thought that when they was like, oh no, it's unicorns. No. Fuck that shit. It should have been Talkie Tawny. It makes sense. Tigers are the fucking, and the lions are the chicken jungle, all that shit. Fucking Talkie Tawny, goddammit. He should have been the cameo.
I don't know. I mean, come on. Then we wouldn't have gotten Taste the Rainbow.
I know.
Come on, man.
I know, but like,
Would have been room.
Tawny, goddammit.
You could use Taste the Rainbow, motherfucker, and a talking tiger.
Yeah, but it wouldn't make much fucking sense, though. I mean, shit.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll figure it out. And I do.
But
I do
honestly,
like that,
I thought they made good villains. I mean, I thought they had an interesting dynamic. You know, I mean, they each
They were
had their
fun.
own. I mean, it was even an understandable motive. They just want, like, at least Hespera and Thea. They only wanted to restore their realm. It was Calypso who went overboard because she was bitter at humanity. She wanted revenge.
She had too much chaos in her heart. That was like
Exactly.
the whole thing. And I like how, like, sorry, I'm saying like so much. I apologize. But it's also showcasing like the different families, like how the Marvel family aren't working as a unit as much as they should. And then on top of that, you have the Daughters of Atlas not being a family as much as they should. So you had that, but eventually it's through they eventually do like work as a unit, because they, even though they're struggling, they're kids, they don't really know what they're doing, they still have that like love for one another. They do still care about each other in the end, which causes them to, you know, even though it was mainly Captain Marvel's sacrifice, it was like they still like were a full unit, because they did, even without their powers, they still showed that they were heroes. While the Daughters of Atlas never got that, because it was just literal backstabbing, quite literally backstabbing people, and you know, and like traitorous behavior, all that stuff. So I liked that, like, it was a family versus a family, and you know, even ironically, even though they do reference it in the movie, this felt more like a better family dynamic than in the fucking Fast and Furious movies. But that's just me.
Yeah, and they even make a Fast and the Furious reference in the movie.
They made it in the trailer.
I just said that.
It's all about family.
Exactly.
Family, guys, that's your cue.
Yeah, that was in the trailer too. So
yeah, that was overplayed. But I mean, they overplayed that in the trailer. But
yeah, like a lot of these jokes, these jokes had, like, I was laughing my ass off most of these. I especially laughed at the even though I know it's not going to go anywhere, but the scene, the final credit scene with Mr. Mind and Savannah.
Yeah.
All right, tell me about this plan. Wait, hold on. No, come back here. Damn it! Like,
that was. I also really liked him with a beard. I'm like, oh, that could be really cool.
That would be awesome, but I know that will never see the light of day. Because
what do you think Mr. Mind's plan was?
Who knows? Maybe David Sandberg will let us know, like after the fact. Yeah.
That's actually David Sandberg playing Mr.
Yeah,
Mind.
that's him. That's his voice. But yeah, that would have been so good to see the Monster Society of Evil. That would have been
awesome.
Yeah. I thought they made good villains. You know, I mean, no, I mean, I don't think
you know, Oscar.
The last thing, you don't want him back again, though. I mean, as much as I love Mark Strong, fucking love Mark Strong, you don't want him back again, because it would just be a fucking repeat. I mean, Jesus, we've already seen that.
Yeah,
we've already seen him. You know, I mean, let's move on.
Yeah,
I mean,
the only way I could see it working. The only way I could like maybe see it working is if like he immediately gets like kind of killed off, or like he gets sent somewhere. So like, so you're not like, it's not like the Marvel thing where you're killing off every good villain you have after one movie.
Yeah.
But like, maybe send him to like a pocket dimension or something, just to like, oh, you're just a worthless human, get the fuck out of my way. Maybe do that, like, and then have the real villain be Mr. Mind, and then maybe like Savannah is granted power, and he like maybe becomes like kind of like a good guy in the end, but he's still a bad guy type of, like, you can maybe do that, like have that make that work, so you could bring in like through Dr. Savannah, have the Monster Society of Evil, get rid of him for a bit, and then have him come back and all that. But you know, we should have had him in the third movie. Would have happened. It should have been Black Adam, but you know that they had to fucking make him an anti-hero. So
and thank God there was no reference to Black Adam in this.
Yeah,
At least I don't think there was.
No, there wasn't. There wasn't, and I'm thankful for that too.
Although they did allegedly. I mean, it is from Wikipedia, so who knows? Because Wikipedia is not truthful. But he did say in the mid-credit scene, he did a reference to the Authority, so it's entirely possible that Amanda Waller isn't making the Justice Society; she's making the Authority. So it's possible that that's where that's going, and like hopefully, because again, I love Captain Marvel, I love Zachary Levi, I love these movies, so I'm just kind of praying that he comes into Gunn's DCEU. So that's entirely possible that they're teasing the Authority, and you have Captain Marvel coming in, and like he'll be in, you know, the new verse, but who knows?
I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm still hoping for it. So I mean, you can't not have a Shazam versus Black Adam. I mean, come on. I mean, Jesus, you got to have that.
Sure, Dwayne Johnson doesn't understand that, but maybe some other powers that be will understand that.
Exactly. Well, I mean, if he's not going to do it, then just replace him and get somebody else. Shit.
Yeah, like get someone who can like actually act. That would be pretty good.
Yeah, and just stick with. I like the story they had in the first one. He, went too far and released the,
AKA his comic book counterpart.
Exactly. Yeah. Released the Seven Sins, and instead of trying to try too hard to make him a fucking anti-hero. Jesus. I mean, I know
not every villain has to be a fucking anti-hero.
No, exactly. They don't.
Sony looking at you.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. But I mean, I thought it was a good, solid film. Megan Good was really good. I mean,
I think she did a really good job with like Kid being in an adult's body. Like she was adorable.
She really did.
Both her and Faith Herman did a good job of like just being the most adorable.
Kid ever.
Yeah.
I love when Darla saves like she comes across that car, and instead of saving the people first, she saves the kittens.
She saves the cats. Yeah.
Darla has her priority.
Of course, you'd like that, Devin.
I know. Speaking of things, Devin. Speaking of things Devin would like, there was actually one scene I know that I was like, yeah, Devin's gonna love this part. It was the Iron Giant shirts, and I know that's your favorite movie.
I thought about that too.
Of course.
Yeah. That's really why Devin loved this movie.
Because it has a reference to the Iron Giant.
Yeah. No Iron Giant, 0 out of 10. Fuck.
But I mean, Freddie Freeman is still like Jesus, the most relatable character of all of them.
Oh yeah, he was. I think he was at his best in this movie.
Yeah, he did really great. I thought Rachel Zegler was really good. He and Rachel Zegler had good chemistry.
Yeah, even though she technically, I mean, he's still 17 and she's over 6,000 years old. Just back up a tiny bit. At least Wonder Woman was like, okay, no, she's still clearly a kid. I'm not doing that.
But
I'm just saying, Rachel Zegler, back up a bit. Calm down.
John, Mark, I know you guys didn't bring this up in your review. What did you? Did the Wonder Woman's cameo, was that really a big problem on how it was?
I thought it was
purpose.
fine. I mean, sure, they
Yeah.
probably included it just to like have like a tease to the other DCEU stuff, since the first one was
Yeah.
very much its own thing, which is not a bad thing. I prefer that, but like, you got to have like a fun little reference here, and
Yeah.
it would have been a good payoff to a good joke earlier on in the fucking movie,
Yeah.
but the TV
they didn't
spot had to
show it.
ruin it.
I mean, you literally had Ben Affleck's Batarang. You have Batfleck's Batarang in the first one. I mean, you had
Yeah, no, I mean,
Arthur
like in
Weapons
terms of like a whole
Superman.
character. Obviously,
exactly.
he wore the
Yeah,
shirts.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
he wore an Aquaman shirt, he wore a Wonder
Yeah.
Woman shirt. So
Exactly.
obviously there were references, and you technically had Superman at the end of the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just, I'm saying, like, in terms of, you had the scene in Paris in the fucking Billy's wet dream, and you had him like, we should need to be together and all that shit.
Yeah.
And you're not seeing Wonder Woman's face. Obviously, they're poking fun at Henry Cavill not being available to do the cameo, and it's really cute and funny. And then later on, she comes back, and you don't expect her to see her face again. But oh my god, it's actually Gal Gadot. That's so great.
Yeah.
But it got ruined with the fucking TV spot because they need to fucking rake in money
exactly.
for this.
Yeah.
Because they don't.
Inevitably
Well, I
gonna
mean,
bomb.
You know.
So
I mean, this movie is not gonna. I think this movie is gonna bomb because I mean we're entering the gunverse now,
yeah.
unfortunately. So, and I mean even the first Shazam, I mean it wasn't like a major hit or anything. I mean it did make its money back, but
it made more than its money back though because it didn't cost that much.
Yeah, but you gotta factor in marketing and other stuff that they don't normally include.
Yeah, but I mean, still, even so, I mean, it costs $100 million to make. The rule of thumb is if it makes 3 times its budget, not even including marketing, then it's a success. It's a success, which it did. It cost.
But even then, it could have made more, but they stuck it in between, like shitty Captain Marvel and Endgame. So
well, I mean, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, it wasn't. It's not like he's one of their biggest properties.
I know.
So I mean, it made $366 million, which is decent. I mean,
I will say, as much as I like although I just thought of this with what Rome was saying, like in his review. As much as I like the redesign, it's a good redesign for their suits. I actually prefer the suits from the first movie, just because they're so like silly looking, like they look like Silver Age and like just kind of cheap. I think that adds to the overall charm of it, and I kind of liked that, but that's just me. I liked the padded muscles. I thought that was funny. I thought that added to the overall comedy of it all.
Yeah.
Like maybe because I think there was like a point where it's like, obviously like Captain Marvel is supposed to be like him as an adult type of thing, like what he would eventually grow into. But I do kind of weirdly hope that like when he is like a superhero, it's not like Shazam the Wizard giving him a form. It's him imagining what a superhero would be.
Yeah.
So it's him
who's idealized
imagining like he has these big muscles, even though it's like incredibly fake looking. Yeah. And like I love how like the chest is like this cheap looking effect of like an LED behind like fucking like an LED light you get from Spencer's or some shit.
It works.
I liked that.
Yeah,
this is a good redesign. It fits in with more of the DCEU, so I'll take it. It's fine. It's a very good redesign. But I kind of liked the cheap, like looking like he's wearing like a fucking bath curtain, like on his shoulder. So I like that, but that's just me.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it works with Shazam. You could do stuff like that with Shazam. I mean. This is why like every single film does not have to have the same fucking tone. That shit got really old real quick with Marvel. I mean, I was calling this way back after Avengers. I said, look, they're all going to be like this. Get tired of this shit. Took a little longer than I thought it would, but I mean, eventually now Phase 4, people are finally getting tired of it. So I mean,
yeah, absolutely. And something I think
even if Kevin Feige's in denial.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, of course, it's going to be in denial. Yeah. Something I do find kind of funny is you know how it was how the first one was released like a week before Endgame? This movie was originally supposed to release the same day as Avatar: The Way of Water.
Yeah, that was a good. Honestly, I didn't think that would be that much of a big deal, but look, $2 billion later.
Yeah,
Here we
Third
are.
highest grossing movie of all time.
I was gonna say, great strategy, guys. Great strategy.
Yeah, really, exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, Warner Brothers. I mean,
Warner Brothers doing a good decision. Oh my God.
You know,
exactly.
take it away, Tom Baker.
You know, you're a classic example of the inverse ratio between the size of the mouth and the size of the brain.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. So,
Like you released something the same day as a James Cameron movie, you're gonna get fucked.
But at least
Exactly.
they changed it. Like, give them that. At
Yeah,
least
they changed it.
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Warner Brothers, I mean, they made some really stupid fucking decisions.
We all know they're stupid.
I'm just, yeah.
Exactly.
It's not even a surprise anymore. I mean, I'm sorry. I just don't believe Discovery has never had any. It's the same thing with AT&T. They have a little more experience in entertainment, but TV entertainment, not big studio movie productions entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean, they were in a little better position than AT&T. Not much, I would say. I mean, I don't think they have a whole lot more experience running a studio. I mean, I would rather have gotten sold to, say, MGM or Paramount than or even Universal.
Or even Universal, but they have
Yeah.
a bunch of their own shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, Paramount, I mean, back when Marvel was under Paramount, it was fucking great. So
Yeah.
and that's I still stand by. I don't care what anybody says. Phase 1 is
Yeah.
still the best phase. I don't care what anybody
Yeah.
says. Because the movies actually felt different. Sure,
Yeah.
they were like kind of going with emotions and like kind of retconning a lot of stuff back to back. But you know what? I'll take that over like the same movie over and over again
Yeah,
under
God, yeah.
slightly different genres.
No, exactly. Especially when whole movies are just set up for the next big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's
And
all
this
there is.
And this is
This
something
actually
I'm gonna-
told a story.
Exactly.
What a shock. Yeah, sure. Fuck it. I'll take a movie that tells a story with possibly a shoehorned Wonder Woman cameo than just, Quantumania setting up Kang Dynasty. Fuck that.
Exactly.
Yeah, for real.
Badly at that because
I haven't
you
even
had
seen
to
the
drag
fucking
off my
movie. I'm just going
fucking
off
pants.
what you guys have said.
Like give some DC movies this. I mean, there are a bunch of them that suck. Warner Bros. Are idiots, but at least some of them now at least aren't trying to set up shit.
Yeah.
They're trying to
Exactly.
tell their own stories.
Okay, I gotta say so. Hold on. Megan Good is like fucking almost 42 years old.
Yes.
What?
Black really does not crack, man.
Black don't
I'm
crack,
telling you,
man.
Black don't
Black
crack.
don't
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, who again?
Megan
Megan
Good.
Good, the
Superhero
grown-up
version of
Darla.
Darla.
Superhero
Darla.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, she
Okay,
was
I didn't
August
know.
8, 1981, man. I mean, not 91, 81.
Wow.
Wow.
And I mean, she's like my age. I mean, almost shit.
Wow.
Jesus.
She looks the same age as Grace
Yeah.
Curry. And
Yeah.
she's like, I think Grace Curry's a little bit older than I am, maybe same age.
man. Yeah.
But
Let
yeah.
me see.
I think she's 25, 26.
Let me see.
Because she was originally Grace Fulton, but then she got married.
Yeah,
so
she's
she
born
changed it to-
1996. So yeah, she's about 26. Yeah, 26. She is 26.
So she has now uses her married name. So
Grace
that
Caroline.
man is a lucky man. I will say that.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. Yeah, she looks good in the outfit. She looks like Mary Marvel. She really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think honestly, she looks more like her than
The last one.
the last
Yeah.
one. Yeah,
Yeah. Like it looked like too adult. I don't know if that makes sense, but like I don't know. Because like I know the Shazam family.
Michelle Borth.
In the comics, they weren't like they looked like young adults, and that's what they look like here. They still look like threading the line between young adult and adult, and I think Michelle Borth looked too adult, like she looked with just too old, and which like if that's what you're going for, fine, but like I prefer the fact that Grace Curry played both roles. And I love how I don't know if you guys noticed this. I love how they retcon that. Like, because they did a flashback to
Oh my
when
god, you noticed
Billy
that
broke
too?
the staff. And in the background, they're wearing the same suits.
Yes.
They're not wearing the suits from the first movie. And Grace Curry is in the back instead of Michelle Borth.
I'm
Oh
one
my
of the only
god,
one
they
that noticed
actually
that.
fucking retconned that. That's really funny.
Damn.
I kind of like how they did that instead of like having some like overblown explanation,
Yeah.
like, oh, after a certain age, your younger self becomes the older self in the super.
Yeah.
No, they're
Yeah.
just like, no, it was always like that. We swear.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
love it made sense on that level to me, though, John. I mean, that like your younger self would eventually become, but I mean, so
well, but then like, what's the age at? Because at this point,
yeah, because
Mary
I mean, they
was
even
20.
said in the movie that Billy's going to be 18 in 6 months.
In 5 months.
Yes, 5 months, and for Freddie, he's only like a month
So
younger.
he's got 6. Yeah, so he's got 6 more months.
6 more months before he turns 18. Exactly. So I mean,
yeah. So like, what's like the age gap? What's the age limit? And so it brings
I
up
don't
like,
even.
in the words of Batman, it just raises too many questions.
yeah.
Is there? I don't. At least I don't think there's an age limit of how long you can have his powers. I mean,
No,
I feel like once you have him, you
in
have him.
terms of like what we're talking about, like
How long you could be in the
your
phosphorus.
young self,
Oh,
Yeah.
which is your superhero self, because it's two different identities.
Stop.
And then with that,
It's all right.
I do wish they did talk about more like the family stuff, like him like being with his family a little bit more, because like they did drop a little bit of a bomb where she was like, where Mary didn't go to college because she's part of the Shazam family. That's like a big thing that you
That
should
was
have
kind
talked
of-
about. Like, it could have been like a different context, but the way they implied it, like Billy didn't let her go to college, which is a dick move.
That's what I was
if
going to
that
say.
was
It
the
is a
case.
dick move.
But I feel like there was some more context there, because I'm like, okay, Billy's not that much of an asshole. He's not New 52 Billy. He's not that much of a dick. So like, I feel like there was something more there, because they would have talked about that more if it was the case, you know?
Yeah.
So it's entirely possible she like ultimately made the decision. She respected Billy's wishes of like all of us or none of us type of thing. So, and she like agreed with that, and because of that, she didn't go. But if it was like Billy's like, no, you can't go to college, we have to do this, and she's like, no, and he's like, yes, and she eventually like begrudgingly.
I
that
don't
would have been.
see Billy doing that.
I can't see Billy.
That's out of character for Billy.
That would have.
Yeah, I feel like that
would
would have been too much of a dick move. So I feel like there was maybe some context that was cut out, or they just chose not to like go into that as much. Maybe, I don't know, but
I mean, she probably could have gone to college, but still be like a superhero somewhere else or something.
But the thing is, he had the whole all of us or none of us thing, because he wanted all the family to be together solving stuff instead of, apart of the whole, as I was saying before, the trauma of him not having a family, and now he has a family he really cares about, and he doesn't want, to be broken up. That was the thing I really liked about that. He didn't want that to be broken up. I don't think he would go as far as to bar her from going to college, but I feel like, and I think that was a really interesting thing to take. Like it's like a complete 180, not necessarily in a good way though. He didn't find that proper balance. I think he will if they do make another movie, which they unfortunately probably won't, but it would be him like being a kind of a dick, just trying to survive, all that shit, and then boom, okay, I have this family, I have to protect them, I have to be with them, we have to be together always and forever, because I need to have this family, I need to keep us together, and all that. And I really like how they did that. I wish we had more of that, but from what we got, I still think they did a really good job with that.
Oh, and weird, he called his foster mom. but he didn't call his foster. I don't think he never called his foster dad. We didn't see enough of the foster dad.
No.
Well, it was mainly his mom because he didn't know
Yeah.
his dad. Period. So
And-
it's
and
not,
his-
there's
and
not
his-
as much trauma there as his
No.
mom
And his,
abandoning
yeah,
him.
exactly.
But-
I was just about to say that is like in the first one, his mom flat out abandoned him. So
What my
Yeah.
father's challenged brother up here said.
Yeah,
where are you pointing at?
Otherwise,
That the other way, Mark.
God damn it! On mine, it's up here, fucker. God damn it!
You're pointing at the off the screen. That's what you're doing. Here, it's this guy right here.
yes, right. You got to do the opposite, Mark.
You gotta do the
There, your
opposite.
screen.
There you go.
There you
Much
go.
better. Much better.
yeah.
No, I just unmirrored my camera. I have my camera mirrored. So
Oh, that's what happened.
No wonder.
Yeah, I would have liked to see more of the foster dad because I do think he's a good character.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
Oh
that.
yeah, he is.
he's great.
Because
Yeah.
and although I do
injuries.
appreciate the fact that a fat guy managed to marry a bombshell, so
You ain't
you know,
lying. Mark
that
ain't
should
lying.
provide hope for some people, right? Please.
Yeah. Is it weird that I thought she was Angelina Jolie in the first one?
Yes, because she was always Hispanic.
Yeah, but I mean, dear God, I mean, she's got the body and the look. She looks
She looks
her.
better than Angelina Jolie now.
She really does.
Because she looks at least au natural.
Well,
compared
I
to
mean, she
Angelina
looks
Jolie.
like Angelina Jolie used to look. I'll say
Yeah,
that.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Because she's not like a super dark Hispanic woman. She is lighter. So I'll give you that. I'll give you a little twinge of that.
Yep.
But is there anything else? Because I remember I wanted to talk about the Philadelphia thing. I'm like, yes. Fucking keep Philadelphia away from the rest. Oh, yes, that was the other thing that I just thought of the climax. Maybe somebody else got this, but I want to say that the climax with him sacrificing himself, that's got to be a reference to Kingdom Come. It wasn't like the same way, but I feel like that was a bit of a reference.
Hey,
Does
I still
anybody
want
else-
to talk about the guy who called him Captain Marvel. And I swear to God, I heard him say Captain Marvel.
That's what a lot of people are saying. Me and my friend didn't hear it. My friend is seeing it again tonight, so
Yeah.
I got to ask him because he said I'm gonna keep an eye out for that or an ear out for that.
What
So-
the question I have is, I think that's the same guy who played Captain Marvel in the old Shazam TV show.
The kid, yes, but not Captain Marvel. He's been dead.
Not the kid. I mean, the kid. Yes, the kid.
Yeah, the kid. No, we've confirmed that was the kid, the guy in the red shirt, the
Yeah.
old guy in the red shirt and the yellow collar.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's the kid.
Yeah.
We did confirm that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. Like,
I was
Mhm.
because we were looking
hey!
at them. I'm like, that looks like the shirt he used to wear in the show, and we're like,
Yeah,
I did not get that, but then again, I didn't watch the 70s.
I never watched it either. I just
Me
know
neither.
of it.
I
know.
watched it. I mean, I don't remember specific episodes, but I remember in general watching it and liking it. You know, so I mean,
Penis.
Do you
Hey,
think,
Jack.
do you
Hey, Jack.
think, do you think they probably did that just because of Linda Carter's cameo at Wonder Woman 84?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they like a bunch of people have been doing that. Like, although this is a weirder reference, like in the first Ant-Man movie, when Paul Rudd first transforms into Ant-Man and he falls on the guy's car, and it's that black guy. That black guy played Ant-Man in an SNL sketch. And that was the only other person that had played Ant-Man in a live action form. So they gave him a cameo.
yeah, yeah. It was Michael Gray. Michael Gray. That was his name.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I
Wonder
knew I
Woman,
recognized him. As soon as
Wonder
I
Woman
saw it, I was like, wait a second, that's the guy. That's Billy Batson from the old TV show.
yeah, I mean, we all know Wonder Woman 1984 sucked, but
Yeah.
it's
I didn't.
you could tell the scene with Linda Carter. You could tell that was a reshoot.
Ow.
And when
Yeah.
she does that weird like wink and nod to the eyes, like I've done this before.
Yeah.
Hey, get it? Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, it
I
was still
did-
nice
I
to
did this
see her.
before.
No,
Like, come on,
it's
it's
Still
Linda
nice to
Carter.
see.
She's
Yeah,
always
I
a
agree.
win.
It's still nice to see her. I mean, it's always nice to see Linda Carter.
Yeah.
Very nice to see Linda Carter because Jesus Christ, even her age, she still looks
She's
amazing.
still fine as fuck.
She
Oh
is.
yeah.
You know, she
I
said a
don't
few
care
years
what
ago,
anyone
I was
says.
watching
Don't get me wrong.
documentary,
Gal
she's like,
Gadot is a very beautiful woman. I think Linda Carter now looks better than Gal Gadot now.
I mean, look, here's the thing. Look, wait a second. Here's the thing about Linda Carter. Linda Carter once said, just a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago at the most, but like she said, she's like, the suit still fits. She put it on. She puts it on occasionally. She's like, it still fits. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, of course it does.
God damn. What?
Yeah.
But yeah, I at least I think it was. I liked the Kingdom Come reference. Obviously it wasn't as overt, like, because I remember, I think in the Kingdom Come guide, it's been a long time since I've read it, but it was he keeps saying Shazam over and over again, and then I think it was blows up the nuke in the air, and then you have the famous picture.
Well, he
of
was
Superman
saying
screaming
Shazam
to
over
the
and over
heavens.
again to shocking Superman.
Yeah,
Until Superman, stopped him and talked to him and said, hey, we need to basically talk some sense into him, and that's when,
because he was being brainwashed by Lex Luthor. That was the whole thing.
And Superman flew up to stop the nuke, and then Captain Marvel stopped him and flew up instead, and
and he kept saying Shazam over and over again to do that. And I feel like that they were at least kind of, because he was going towards the dragon and like he says Shazam. I feel like that was a bit of a reference. If it was, I appreciate that, because Kingdom Come is like the best DC story ever.
Oh, yeah.
So like, personal opinion. I would say Kingdom Come and New Frontier are probably
my
the best
thing is,
DC
how are they
story.
going to lead to a Kingdom Come in chapter 1? Because that's what James Gunn has talked about, leading to a Kingdom Come story. Am I not right about that?
I don't think there's going to be a big crossovers in this phase.
I can see it as an Elseworld story, but not as part of the main universe.
No,
I
know.
heard is that maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know.
Who knows? We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're not going to be doing like a big collab, like epic crossover movie for a while.
No, I doubt that too.
Yeah, Kingdom Come. Yes, he's talking about that's the rumor that they're doing, and it's all going to lead to Kingdom Come, which wouldn't make any damn sense to me, because Kingdom Come is when Superman is old and retired, and Batman.
I can maybe see what he's saying. Like it'll eventually. That's like their end game. Like years and years and years and years from now, like fucking 20, 30 years down the line, maybe.
It's time like 10 years.
But like if they're like fucking if it's like phase 1, whatever the fuck they're calling it, phase
they're
1
talking about 10 years. I guess
1.
this is I guess that would be their end game, which doesn't make any sense to me. It still doesn't make any sense. Ow! Get the goddamn count.
What happened?
Cat was scratching my fucking back. Oh Jesus! Not unwittingly, like digging her claws digging his
scratch
claws.
my back, I scratch yours.
But yeah, that doesn't make. I mean, I would love to see an adaptation of Kingdom Come. That would be fucking great. But
and Elseworld, but
as an Elseworld, though.
Yeah, but they're talking about that's their 10-year plan. I mean, like 10 years, you're going to tell the whole. I mean,
like I could see like.
I don't see it working that way.
The only thing I could see like for like Endgame type level is like maybe the Dark Side War. I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like nothing like I mean I hate to compare Thanos to Darkseid, but I mean they inevitably get compared all the time. But
unless you wanted to do Crisis.
Because I think that might be too much, because that would involve getting rid of the multiverse.
Yeah.
And people like the multiverse too much, even though DC was way better without it.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I feel like, okay, I know, Mark, you can never give James Gunn any credit, which, like, fair. I fully understand.
I do not like the man. I mean, I said
that's understandable. I'm just saying, I feel like with Gunn, I feel like in certain aspects his heart is in the right place, but I feel like he's just doing like. I feel like he's kind of throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks.
Yeah,
much like fair. DC has been doing for a
well, it's like the one comic book writer whose article I sent to the group chat said he's doing too much. If he's really planning on writing all this, he's never going to leave the house anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be writing everything, but like, again, if he's just doing Superman, I'm probably not gonna see it in theaters. But the fact he's doing okay, like he does Superman, fine. But let somebody else take a try with writing and directing.
I just
You
don't
just
wanna-
be a producer.
Yeah,
I
be
think
a,
he's
be a
gonna. I
producer.
think he's gonna use. I think he's gonna. I called it. I said he was gonna direct Superman. Sure enough.
We all fucking knew he
Yeah.
was gonna direct.
Yeah.
Superman.
we all knew that
I
coming.
mean,
That was
he's
like-
going to choose.
That was obvious.
He's going to do. Fucking. Damn it! Why can I not think of his name? I have the figure. Fucking Lobo. He's gonna do Lobo just so he can insert lots of dick jokes in there. There's dear God, dick and fart jokes in there. And it's
Which is a shame because that's not really what Lobo is.
No, it's not. It's really not.
Because I mean, like he's like more like he is kind of like Deadpool, but not in like a juvenile way.
No, he's not. He's
he's
a
the
reverend.
main-
He was a biker.
He's the main man.
Exactly. He's the main man.
But yeah, I will say,
He's
I don't
more
know
of
if
a great
anybody here
character.
watched
He's a
it, but I
bounty
will
hunter.
say, even though he wasn't
Lobo.
as big as
Yeah.
he should have been, the Lobo on Krypton was fucking great. He was played by the guy who played Jim Corrigan in Constantine, the
Mhm.
TV show. He was really good. He wasn't like super big or anything. Like I feel like Lobo should be bigger. Like Jason Momoa would be fucking perfect as Lobo. But I will say, if anybody watch Krypton, please let me know, because like he was like, I would say it was a great show. Like I would say watch the show, but like if you only want to see those episodes, I would say watch those episodes because he was really good. That's pretty much what Lobo should
Constantine TV show was damn good. It was
that was
so
a damn good one.
Jesus, I mean, it was so.
And then Legends of Tomorrow fucking ruined him.
They really did. They really did. And it was so.
That's why I
mean,
don't want to see Matt Ryan in anything Constantine ever
Is
related anytime
honestly,
soon.
hey, the rumor that I read this week is that Keanu Reeves Constantine 2 may not happen. And I'm honestly not, as much as I love Keanu Reeves, I'm honestly not that upset about it because I was never that crazy about the first one. I thought it was okay.
Only thing I remember about the first one,
Yeah,
was the devil was played by the singer of Bush,
Gavin Rossdale. Yeah.
Gavin Rosdale.
I mean,
Which is all right.
Wait, I
Yeah,
thought
like-
Devil was played by Peter Stormare.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I mean, Gavin Rosdale played him.
I mean, I
It's
remember-
been. I mean, it's been. I mean, I
Keanu
wouldn't.
did a good job. I think it's just that my thing is this. I mean, it's not the Keanu. It's just that Constantine has to be fucking British.
I mean,
It's like James Bond. He has to be fucking British. No, he
Even
should
though he
never.
was
I mean,
played by an
he should
Australian.
never-
Oh, I got
United
something.
Secret
He
Service.
should never. American. Sorry, he should never be an American. He probably should never even be Australian. He should be fucking British.
I mean, I haven't. I was gonna say I just going back to the. I mean, I haven't seen the Constantine movie and like the one with Keanu Reeves in so long. So it's.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just okay. I thought it was all right. It wasn't bad. It's just. Yeah.
I mean, I remember. I think I remember liking it when I. I think I remember liking it when I first saw it, but I mean, that was like.
Yeah.
That was like when I was in high school. That was a long time ago.
It was better than I thought it would be because honestly,
I mean, it's good for an Americanized version of Constantine.
Hmm.
It's,
yeah,
But
but
it's not
Constantine
good
has to be
forecast,
British.
Constantine.
He has to be British. He's
Yeah.
very British.
It's like having
Specifically English.
I mean, I like with the Doctor. I mean, the Doctor isn't always British. Sometimes he's Scottish.
Well,
I mean,
Scottish
falls
is British.
into,
Yeah.
Yeah, Scottish is British. So yeah, he's always British.
It's like
Not
they
necessarily
announced,
always English, but he is English or Scottish, which is both British.
it's like announcing the Doctor is going to be, I don't know, Canadian or
Yeah, exactly.
or he's from Texas.
Yeah.
the most they're going with is Shutagatwa because he did live in Scotland for most of his life.
Yeah.
And he has citizenship there, so technically he is, but he's really Rwandan.
Yeah.
Because during the
born in
Rwanda
Rwanda.
genocide, his family escaped,
Mhm.
and he's been living in Scotland for like at least since he was, I think, 6.
Yeah.
So technically he isn't, but technically he is. So it's like, it's a little bit of a gray area, but
Yeah.
like that's probably the farthest they'll go in
Yeah,
terms of like
exactly.
technically, doing
Mhm.
that. But
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, But I mean, Constantine has to be British. That's my thing. And
Yeah,
blonde.
you're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong at
I
all.
would like to see Ewan McGregor play him.
I was gonna say, has there ever been a Constantine any kind of Constantine that was British? Because I know, like in the animated DC, he was Australian, I think. Was he?
No, he was British.
He's
I
British.
thought he was. I thought he had an Australian
Well, I
accent.
know. Well, Matt Ryan was in the show. He's Welsh, but that's also falls under,
I
Britain.
got you.
But yeah, he was Welsh in that. I would love to see Dan Stevens. I think he would make an excellent Constantine.
Mhm.
I think Ewan McGregor could be good. He's a little bit too old, but I think he could
Yeah,
probably still make
maybe a
it
little
work.
too old now, but
They would probably want someone in like their fucking 20s nowadays.
yeah.
So like,
No, he should be in
Yeah.
his 30s. He should be in his 30s. He should be a more
30s.
experienced Constantine.
I think fuck it, Henry Cavill, he should be Constantine.
Oh yeah.
All right, that could work.
Super buff Constantine. Yo, he just
Yeah,
wears
why not?
he wears a sleeveless trench coat. He's like, look at these guns.
He's a good enough actor.
I will punch the demon in the face. Boom.
He's a good enough actor, honestly.
But Dan Stevens would be really good. I really like him a lot, and I think he could do like dark, sort of like leaning into the full anti-hero sort of thing, and he plays a good dick. If anybody has seen The Guest, I think he can do that.
Yeah.
God, you motherfucker! Like Jesus Christ, you heathens! But like, Legion is also another really good example of him showing off his superhero prowess.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of Kingdom Come teases, going back to that, I did wonder when he came back. We all knew he was coming back. I wondered, now wait a second, are they going to have only him alive but Billy dead, like in Kingdom Come? Because in Kingdom Come, Billy was dead, but Shazam was still alive. That's why if he transformed to Shazam, he would kill
die.
himself. That's how he died, and that's how he died, because he said Shazam, destroyed the nuke, but he also killed himself. Because if he transformed again, he would die. Because Billy is dead.
Who
Yeah,
knows? But again, it's only hearsay and rumors at this point, so who knows?
I mean, I don't think they will. Obviously, they won't.
Yeah.
I mean, I just wondered if they would. I mean, but obviously they didn't, clearly. I mean, but so yeah.
Yeah, but since we hit the hour mark,
Anybody else got anything to say about Shazam: Fury of the Gods?
it's the movie. It's not as mixed or as bad as most people are saying. I'd say
I would say
give
go
it a
watch it.
chance.
I majorly loved this movie. I was saying this before we started to Devin. I like during the bridge scene, I kind of teared up a little bit because I'm like, I'm watching a good superhero movie.
Yeah.
This feels so good.
Yeah.
I mean, even though I didn't love it as much as the three of you, I would say go at least check it out at least once.
Yeah.
I think the last superhero movie I saw in theaters was, I think, the one that shall not be named. So that might be the case as to why I was so emotional during this one. But who knows? I would have to look through my Letterboxd.
I thought the last like comic book movie you saw was Black Adam.
That's what I thought. I thought it was Black Adam too.
Oh, it was so forgettable. I actually didn't genuinely remember it.
Exactly.
Well, that wasn't that good either. So, like, I'll give it that.
No,
I even tried rewatching that on HBO Max. I was like, oh,
I've
wow.
never seen that again.
I don't have.
I watched it once. I'm like, okay, man, fucking Pierce Brosnan was great as Dr. Fate.
Yeah.
Aldous Hodge was really good as Hawkman. And that's it. That's the movie.
I don't care about rewatching
That's
that.
why I say it sucked, because I mean, look, where the side characters outshine the main character, that's not a good thing. I mean,
like, it's
generally
serviceable,
not a
like,
good
for
thing.
like a matinee, like as Double Mercy would say. It's
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
a low
this is- yeah.
matinee.
Yeah.
But although I did see Shazam in IMAX, that was a cool experience. I used my free vouchers that I got from Avatar 2 Electric Boogaloo when the projector broke. So, because I'm like, I'm not paying $18 fucking for each ticket. Fuck that. I'm using my vouchers.
Well, John. Guess what? You can see it in IMAX if you have.
Regal Unlimited.
Regal
No, AMC Stubbs A-list.
Stubbs the list. Regal Unlimited or
Yeah.
AMC Stubbs the list. I still call it Stubbs the
Heartbreak
list.
feels good in a place like this.
Yeah, right.
Oh, by the way, Devin, are you so looking forward to seeing that Nicole Kidman ad tomorrow?
I
Or
know
inside?
I know when to walk out.
But is she Beauty? Is she Grace?
Is this place nicer than my apartment?
Are you telling me there's a chance?
Ugh.
Oh.
I'm with
Both
Devin.
are
Dear Lord, I'm about to have to walk out of here. Jesus.
Were you not here during the entire review, Dylan?
It's good.
Very great.
It's really good. Yeah.
Go watch
I
it.
don't see
Okay.
what everybody's problem with it is. I mean,
I think the only thing I can think of is the pacing issues and maybe the comedy, but I don't get why. Because I know like people are like, oh, it doesn't have as much heart as the first one. I'm like, okay, like I guess, but it's still a really heartfelt movie.
Yeah.
There was more heart in that one scene between Rosa and Billy towards the end of the movie than in the entire fucking MCU, the last two phases.
exactly.
So like, do with that as you will.
Exactly.
Yes, clearly.
We
Um,
appreciate
But
you watching.
we're a little bit over an hour. It's time to
So we
wind
better-
down.
Yeah.
stay tuned. Stay tuned Wednesday for our review of Inside, starring Willem Dafoe.
Yes.
I've already seen it.
Congrats.
In it tomorrow.
I don't think I'm going to be able to swing this one. So
An entire movie of Willem Dafoe.
yes,
Yeah. Just
That's
going crazy. Like that's just perfect.
exactly. Willem Dafoe is Willem Dafoe in Willem
Willem
Dafoe.
Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe for Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, like
Willem
Willem
Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe's good. Willem Dafoe's good, except if it's Antichrist.
We don't talk about that.
That's the
Wait,
way you
what?
want it, you little shit. Fine.
You don't talk
I don't get the reference.
He's on my fucking stream, you asshole.
Did I miss something?
No, you didn't.
Okay.
You talking about the Last Temptation of Christ?
No.
Oh,
But
I didn't even know what that movie
Okay.
was, but
So
okay.
you know what? Before this gets weird and awkward, so next review will be Inside on Wednesday. After that,
Will be John Wick Chapter 4, hosted by this guy.
yes. So with that, that is all for now. And remember, Devin, this place is nicer than my apartment.
Fuck you.
once again, we have brought light into the world. You're welcome, America.